So I haven't been in the saddle much. I haven't been in the saddle at all for 6 weeks because I've had an operation on my foot. So today is going to be the first time in 6 weeks that Zeus will have been sat on. He's quite quirky. So this is either going to be a triumph or a disaster. Let's see what happens. Woo! I haven't had anybody else riding because he's so sensitive that if somebody got on and made him nervous, that would then push me back maybe 1-2 years in where our training's at. So I've taken the decision that I will leave him for the 6 weeks that I've not been riding. And today will be the first time that I'm actually going to get on him. You'll notice that I've actually got Skechers because I can't physically get riding boots on because of my post-op foot. I'm not just going to throw the saddle on and think, just get on with it, mate, because trust me, I wouldn't even be on him for 5 seconds. He would just have me clean on the floor within a nanosecond. So I'm just going to show how I build up bit by bit on getting back on him. If you've had this same apprehension about getting on your horse after time off following a fall operation like myself, please comment below and follow this journey with me of how I get on a horse after a substantial time. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to start with his ears. Is he happy to just have me just lightly massage his ears? And all I'm doing is just cupping them. And you can see, oh, he's not very happy about that, but I just carry on, just gentle cupping. Good boy. And you can imagine, you can see the tension that he's got already. And imagine me just throwing a bridle on him and getting straight on him while he's feeling like this. And if you watch in a minute, I'm just doing nothing. I'm just keeping it nice and soft. There we go. You can see he's licking and chewing. Good boy. And again, just coming onto the pole. Good boy. And I can feel, while he's doing this, I can feel his breathing, he's changing, his nostrils are flaring, and any minute now he's going to start licking and chewing. Good boy. So now I'm going to come down to his neck. Just simple, just keeping it simple, just keeping everything nice and relaxed. Oh, you're liking that, aren't you? And again, I'm just going to go up the shoulder. A little bit of wipe up the shoulder. Good boy. Oh, good lad. Oh, is that nice? So there we have him licking and chewing. Following that release, I'm going to just work down his back. I'm going to get covered in white hair now because obviously it's shedding season. Oh, is that nice? Going backwards and forwards over the longissimus dorsi muscle. This is where the saddle's going to go, and this is where, if he's going to have a little bit of an issue, it will be if there's any tension in this muscle here. Is that nice, Susie? And I think you can see this here is getting Zeus's seal of approval. Oh, is that nice? And actually, considering he's not been ridden for such a long time, there's actually not that much tension in this muscle. So I'm actually quite pleased with that. Use the palm of my hand. I'm just going to do circular motions. Good boy. Good lad. And then see how I've always got my hand on the hip here? Just so that if that back leg goes anywhere, I've got pre-warning that it's coming my way. And I can try and hobble out the way as best as I can. And we're going to do the scrape up the rib cage, just spreading my fingers and just putting them in between the ribs and just pushing them up. Favourite one. I do this even before I tack up any horse. So if I look here, you can see the reaction. There's a little bit of, there's not a lot, but there's a little bit of tension there. I'm just going to rub into the elbow with the V of my hand, just in a nice circular motion. Nothing too heavy. I'm not trying to hurt Zeus. I'm just trying to release any tension that has built up in this area whilst I've not been riding him. Maybe about 10 circular motions, And if I touch that muscle now, there's no flinching whatsoever. I'm happy. So far, so good. I'm pressing here. You watch the muscle here. I'm just going to just do a little bit of a release. Good lad. That's it. And that's cleared that. So if you look at his back now, whereas we've got the tension before, I'm now rubbing the same area, same pressure. There's no tension going along the longissimus dorsi muscle. So I'm really pleased with that. Onto the big muscles, and you can see how tight he is here as well. And again, I'm just going to go across the muscles. I'm not doing anything technical here. I'm just trying to get some suppleness back in the muscle, just so that when I get on him, he's feeling the best that he can feel. You're doing a little bit of massage yourself. What you do one side, you must replicate the other side. That's really important. Then we'll get the tack, and then we'll think about getting on while I build my courage up. You can have a little good luck kiss, so that hopefully by giving him a little kiss, he won't kill me. Or at least you'll be a good boy when Mummy tries to get on you, will you, Zeusy? Okay, same again, down the neck. Remember, he liked that the other side, didn't he? That was a really nice movement for him. Good boy. Ooh. You know, for as quirky as he is, he's the most loving horse you could ever wish to meet when he's not coughing. Actually, that's not too bad. And again, I'm just going to get the ball of my hand. You can actually see how dirty he is by the colour of my hands. And I'm just going to rub over this muscle. Just backwards and forwards. We're just making sure that the horse is nice and relaxed for us to be putting the tack on, so that we don't get an adverse reaction. As I said in the previous video about Zeus, the horse that made me listen, it was definitely him. It took me several hospital trips, but eventually I realised that you just have to make sure everything's just right with this horse. You can't cut corners, and if you do cut corners, you cut them at your peril, because he will just punish you for it. I go to the girth area again, and you can see his reaction. You know, yes, I'm prodding him, but again, I'm just going to come into nice circular motion, or release the tension in that muscle. Good boy. You're going to help me, Zeusy? Are you going to help me? Hey, you're going to help Mummy? Okay, and if you see, there's no reaction at all now to that muscle. Again, I'm just going to come up, using my fingers, separating them, so they're almost like a comb that come up the rib cage. And I'm combing up in between the ribs, just to make him feel comfy. Good boy. Good lad. I'm happy with that. Again, we've got a little bit of tension from here. If you look at the muscle here, you see it twitching. And all this is going to have an effect when I'm putting the saddle on, and then I'm tightening the saddle onto this muscle. I need to know that there's nothing that's going to affect his back, because that's what's going to cause me a problem. Okay, so yes, it's a nice treatment, but it's also, to me, it's super important to be doing this to your horses, so that the minute you get on them, they are the best that they can be. And that, you know, to me is the most important thing. It's not till you stand here, like I'm 5'6", you realise how big he is. He is a big lad. You weren't this big when I brought you, were you? Yeah, you forgot to stop growing. So I'm just going to do the back end of him. And again, just coming over the muscles, or just rubbing across. Good boy. Good lad. You're going to do that again. You're going to do that again. So hopefully we can see that he's yawning, and hopefully he's in a nice, relaxed state of mind, and that when I put the saddle on and I actually get on him, he will continue to be that relaxed. I have got everything crossed. I'm not going to lie. I'm a very confident, competent rider, but I am a little bit apprehensive. But what I can't do is I can't show that apprehension to Zeus. You know, am I apprehensive? Of course I am. I'm just over a foot operation. I haven't been signed off by the specialist yet. I can't get my boots on because I've had stitches both sides of my foot. I'm riding in Skechers that aren't ideal footwear, but I'm hoping, and that's why I've chosen these, because I'm hoping that I can actually, if anything does happen, I can quickly get my foot out of the stirrup and get myself off. I probably won't land on my right foot, but I'll be definitely throwing myself off. I am a bailer. I don't, if things are going pig tongue, I'm the first one off, and I want to get off on my terms, not his terms, especially with him being so big. So enough talking, enough waffling. Can you see that I'm actually trying to delay getting on? I think I might just paint the stable block while we're here. No, I'm only joking. But again, I can already feel my apprehension is starting to build, you know. But what I've got to do is I've got to not let that go through to Zeus, because if I do, then he's going to get worried. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm tacking up, I'm going to just be thinking and talking to myself that everything's going to be okay. And hopefully by the time I present him at the mounting block, we'll be nice and relaxed. Well, I'll be nice and relaxed. So let me know in the comments, have you ever made up excuses that you have to do something because you really are worried about getting on the horse? And if you have, let me know below, because trust me, you're not on your own. At this moment in time, I'm thinking maybe I need to go and do the shopping, anything but to get on Zeus. Okay, so that's the massage done. I'm going to tack him up in a minute. So the aim for today is to just get on him, and the plan will be I'm going to get on him in here. I will walk him to the school, and if he's good to go to the school, then I'll turn him round and I'll bring him back into the barn. You know, some people would think, oh, well, they're being good, so I'll just carry on. But that's when things can unravel. You know, when you're building your confidence back up, or you're building yours and your horse's bond back up, you have to have a set goal. So my goal today will be to get on, to walk him to the school, do a small circle in the school, then bring him back into the barn and get off. And if he does that, calm, cool and collected, then do you know what? I'm over the moon. Again, as I've explained before, I think this is quite important. Always make sure that you pull the mane out from under your saddle cloth. I see lots of people where they don't do that, and you imagine it's like the horse having his hair pulled. The thing with Zeus, what I have to make sure as well is that the saddle is never sitting on the edge of the saddle cloth, because if that saddle cloth was pulled further forward or it didn't fit him, it was a bit short, and I sat on that, that would cause him to prompt and clean off. Coming round again, just double checking all the time, making sure that mane is not caught in that saddle. Okay, so I've done his girth up, but I haven't done it up tight. I'm going to go and grab my hat, and then I will just give it one more tight on the other side, rather than yank it all up in one go. Do it in stages. You know, I've had times where I've done the saddle up and then he's just like been bronking on the spot. As I'm doing all this, I'm assessing how is he feeling, how is he responding, and I'll be honest, he's responding very well, considering every day this horse was ridden. So for me to be contemplating getting it on him today after 6 weeks, still with my foot post-op, is a big thing, and I can't underestimate what a big deal this is. Okay, so I've just tightened up the girth, so I'm now happy that for what I'm going to be doing, his girth is secure enough. I would never, with Zeus, just tack him up and get straight on him, i.e. tack him up here and bring him to the mounting block. So what I do is I tack him up as I have done. I will walk him to the end of the barn, turn him round and bring him to the mounting block, and I will ask him to stand. Or if I was at a show, I would tack him up on the lorry, bring him off the lorry, and then I would walk him around the lorry and then bring him to the mounting block, so that the walk allows everything to just settle in, and so that he can feel again as comfortable as he can possibly feel. So I'll put the mounting block down, part of my planning and preparation. So as I'm tacking him up again, I'm just seeing how is he reacting. Is he objecting to having the bridle on? Again, I never do my nose bands up tight. I never do my throat lashes up tight. That again is just personal preference. I don't know. Get my stirrups down. So now we've got the moment of truth. Will I survive, or will I be sitting on the concrete? Let's see. So I'm just going to bring him to the mounting block, and I'm going to ask him to stand there. Good boy. Good lad. And I'm going to give him a treat. Good boy. And then I'm going to climb on. And this is where I now need to be sort of telling myself that everything's going to be okay and there's going to be no issues. With him, when I go to walk off, if he does 3-4 strides, then stops, what I must do, me as being his owner, I must stop and listen to him. Because if I try to boot him on and think, oh, he's being naughty, that's when he will cash in and bronk me off. So I'm happy. He seems pretty relaxed. No, he doesn't seem to be objecting to me sitting on, so I'm going to ask him to walk on. Good lad. Now, I could be thinking, you know what? He seems pretty good, so what? Let's let him have a little scratch. So I could be thinking, you know what? He's been pretty good, so I could bring him in here and then start having a schooling session with him. But that's not what today's session was about. So today's session for me was all about just getting on him for the first time and for him accepting me. So I'm just going to turn him back. And that is today's lesson over with. I'm going to finish on a high. I'm super pleased with him. I've not sat on him for 6 weeks. He's quite happy. He's accepted me. And his reward for that will be to go back in the barn, and I will pat him, thank him, and get off him. And that today is that session over. Keeping it simple, finishing on a high, not getting greedy. I thought, you know what? He's been really good. I could have taken him in there. I could have walked, trotted, got him cantering and things like that. I set out today to come up, to massage him, to tack him up, to sit on him, and to walk him out. He's ticked all those boxes, and I'm pleased as punch. So that will be the start of us getting back out and about. And then tomorrow, I'll get on him and I'll go into the school and I'll do a little bit more. But for today, his reward for being such a good boy is to finish on that. And hopefully you've enjoyed just seeing that even confident, competent people still have those nerves when they're getting back on a horse for the first time, following either an accident or an operation like myself. Quite sure how I'm going to get off, but because I need to make sure I land on my left foot, so I'll hop over. Yeah, there you go. So all in all, I think today's been a real success and something to build on. So 6 weeks, Zeus not having had a rider on him at all, and I think we're going to be all right. So thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed it, please like, share and subscribe. Ready in the saddle, riding real and true. Like, share, subscribe.